Have you ever met someone who had nothing but understood life better than millionaires? Today's story is about a janitor who taught a CEO the biggest lesson of his life, and what he said changed everything. The man who had everything. In the city of London lived a man named Richard Hale. He had everything most people dream about: a penthouse apartment, luxury cars, a billion-dollar company. People called him the definition of success. But there was one problem. Richard was never happy. Every morning he woke up stressed. Every night he went to sleep worried. Profit targets, competition, investor pressure. His life looked perfect from the outside, but inside he felt empty. The late night. One evening, Richard stayed late at the office. Everyone had already gone home. The building was silent, except for one sound: a mop sliding slowly across the floor. A janitor was cleaning the hallway. The man looked simple: old shoes, simple uniform, but strangely, he was humming a happy tune. Richard was confused. How can someone doing this job look so peaceful, he thought. Curiosity gap. Richard walked toward him. "Excuse me," he said. The janitor smiled. "Yes, sir?" Richard asked something he had never asked anyone before. "Why do you look so happy?" The janitor chuckled. "Because I am." Richard frowned. "You clean floors all night and you're happy?" The old man leaned on his mop. Then he said something unexpected. "Sir, happiness has nothing to do with the job." The conversation. Richard folded his arms. "Then what does it depend on?" The janitor pointed to Richard's chest. "Peace here." Richard laughed. "Peace? I run a billion-dollar company. Peace is impossible." The janitor nodded calmly. "That's because you are chasing the wrong thing." Richard raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" The janitor asked a simple question. "Sir, when will you say you have enough?" Richard had no answer. More growth, more revenue, more success. The finish line kept moving. The lesson. The janitor said quietly, "Sir, people spend their entire life climbing a ladder, only to realize the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall." Richard stood silent. The hallway suddenly felt very quiet. The janitor continued, "You chase money thinking it will bring peace, but peace must come first. Otherwise, success becomes another prison." The turning point. Richard went home that night unable to sleep. The janitor's words repeated in his mind. "When will you say you have enough?" For the first time in years, Richard asked himself a dangerous question. Why am I doing all this? Not for passion, not for purpose, just for more. Always more. Transformation. The next morning, something unusual happened. Richard arrived early. He looked for the janitor, but the man was not there. No one even knew his name. It was just a part-time cleaner. But the lesson stayed. That day, Richard made 3 decisions. He reduced his work hours, he started mentoring young entrepreneurs, and he spent real time with his family. Slowly, for the first time in his life, he felt something he never felt before: peace. Final lesson. Success without peace is just another form of failure. If this story made you think, comment peace over pressure, and subscribe for more stories that might change how you see life. Because sometimes, the greatest lessons come from the most unexpected people.